Всем привет! Добро пожаловать на мой канал. Hello and welcome back to Russian with Nastya. Today we're going to talk about punctuation marks in Russian language. I'm going to translate them to Russian and to tell you when do we use them in Russian language. Итак, давайте начнем. So punctuation marks in Russian are знаки препинания. Let's write it down. Знаки препинания. Препинания. Знаки препинания. Punctuation marks. Давайте переведем. Punctuation marks. Знаки препинания. Знаки препинания. Don't forget to practice with me out loud and try to copy my pronunciation. It's very important. It will improve your listening and your pronunciation skills. Знаки препинания. Punctuation marks. Итак, let's begin with точка. Why do we begin with точка, with a dot? Точка. Because this is the first punctuation mark that appeared in Russian language. Точка. Before that, people used to draw a cross. They used to draw a cross instead of dot, instead of точка. Точка. Dot, yeah. Dot, right? Точка. And точка. So they used to draw a cross as a точка, as a dot, but they drew a cross when they paused writing, when they made a pause out of pause during writing. When a guy would finish his schedule for today, finished his work, he would put a cross there. So it was messy because they used to draw a cross, not necessarily at the end of the sentence, just when he would like to go to the toilet, for example, he would draw a cross there. Then in Russian language appeared точка. They needed this, they felt this necessity to use точка. Точка is a dot, and it was the first mark in Russian language. Точка. Дальше, next we have запятая. Номер 2. Запятая. Запятая. And запятая is, in English, it is comma. Давайте напишем комма. Запятая. Запятая, comma. Second mark. And it is a very important mark, right? In Russian language, we have this joke, this phrase. When we, by this phrase, I'm sorry for my neighbors, by this phrase, we show people that comma is very important. Давайте напишем казнить нельзя. Казнить нельзя. Помиловать. Помиловать. Казнить нельзя. Помиловать. Here in this sentence, the comma is very important. A person's life depend on this comma here in this sentence. Казнить means to execute. Давайте напишем. Казнить, execute. So execute is казнить, execute. Нельзя is can't be. Execute can't be, казнить нельзя. Помиловать is to pardon, to relieve, to set someone free, to relieve, to pardon. Pardon. Казнить, execute, нельзя, can't, be, and помиловать, to relieve, to pardon someone, to set someone free. And why comma is very important here. If we would put comma here, казнить, comma, that would mean execute, can't be relieved, can't be pardoned. Execute, can't be relieved, can't be pardoned. This is one meaning. If we would erase it and put the comma, запятую here, Zipitaya, it would mean казнить нельзя, can't be executed, should be pardoned, should be relieved. Казнить нельзя, can't be executed, помиловать, relieve this person, set him free. So you see how important is comma. I think in any language, but in Russian we have this phrase to show that comma is very important. It can change the meaning of the sentence, of a phrase. Дальше, let's continue. Number three is точка с запятой. Точка с запятой. Точка с запятой means dot with a comma. Dot with a comma. Точка с запятой. Точка с запятой. Dot with a comma. So we have a dot and a comma here. Точка с запятой. Semicolon in English. Semicolon in English. Two parts of a sentence with no conjunction between. When we have two parts of a sentence with no conjunction between, we will use a semicolon. This is one of the most common situations when we will use a semicolon. Точка с запятой in Russian language. Let's continue. Давайте продолжим. Номер 4. 4 is многоточие. Многоточие. Многоточие is 1, 2, 3. 3 dots. Многоточие, 3 dots. In English we say ellipsis. Ellipsis. Многоточие, ellipsis. Many dots, literally. Многоточие, many dots. Usually we write 3 dots. And многоточие we use when it's a thought that is unfinished. Unfinished thought. Unfinished thought. Unfinished thought. And we use многоточие. We use 3 dots. We use ellipsis. Or a replacement for omitted words. When there are some words omitted, we will put 3 dots there. We will replace these words with 3 dots. We will show that here is an omitted word. Omitted word. And so on. There are a lot of other cases, but these are more common ones. Итак, дальше. Let's continue. Номер 5. After многоточие, after ellipsis, we have номер 5. Двоеточие. 5. Двоеточие. Двоеточие. Sorry, because I'm thinking about another word and двоеточие. Двоеточие. Двоеточие are 2 dots. Like this. 1, 2. 2 dots. Двоеточие in Russian language. In English we call it a colon. Colon, right? Двоеточие. 2 dots. Like this, vertically. Двоеточие. Colon used to complete the sentence. For explanation, for example, when you want to explain something, for explanation, it is used for explanation, used for explanation, beginning of a list, For example, you should buy 2 dots, двоеточие, colon, and beginning of a list, your grocery list. Explanation or beginning of a list, or to complete the sentence. If you have something else to complete it, to explain something, you will put 2 dots and explain this thing. And so on. И так далее. Хорошо. Следующий знак препинания, next punctuation mark, is номер 6. 6 is вопросительный знак. 6. Вопросительный знак. Вопросительный знак. No questions here, right? Вопросительный знак. A question mark, of course. Question mark. Вопросительный знак. When we use it when we have a question. For example, кто там? Who's there? Кто там? Who's there? Кто там? Who's there? And we will use вопросительный знак to show that this is a question. Because sometimes in Russian we don't not in all the questions we use the question word. Like in English, do you, have you, and so on. In Russian, no. It can be a statement, it can be a question. Two same phrases can be, one can be a question, one can be a statement. So you will need вопросительный знак to show that this is a question, not a statement. Кто там? Who's there? Дальше, номер 7, is восклицательный знак. Давайте напишем восклицательный знак. Восклицательный знак is an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Давайте напишем exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Восклицательный знак. The exclamation mark. When we express, in Russian language we use it when we express emotions. Like здорово, great, and восклицательный знак, and the exclamation mark. Emotions. When we give a command, for example, сделай это, do it, and восклицательный знак, and the exclamation sign, exclamation mark. A command or strong feelings. Like мне плохо, I feel bad. Мне плохо. And strong feelings, positive or negative. So, восклицательный знак, exclamation mark. Скажите, say, восклицательный знак. Восклицательный знак. Очень хорошо. Дальше 9. We have 10 punctuation marks in Russian language. И девятый знак препинания is тире. Here it is. Тире. We call it тире. In English it is dash. Тире. Итак, for example, we use it for direct quotation. for direct quotation. For example, дайте мне хлеба, пожалуйста, попросила Маша. Give me some bread, please, asked Masha. Well, give me some bread, please, will be with a dash, with тире. Давайте напишем, let's give this example. Дайте мне хлеб. Хлеб, пожалуйста. Пожалуйста. Sorry for this noise. Дайте мне хлеб, пожалуйста. Give me some bread, please. So, direct quotation. Дайте мне хлеб, пожалуйста. Попросила Маша. Asked Маша. Попросила Маша. Попросила Маша. Give me some bread, please. Asked Masha. Попросила Маша. So, direct quotation. We have a dash here. Тире. When someone is talking in a text. In English, we have this sign, кавычки, how to call, quotes in English. In Russian, we put a dash, тире, when someone is talking in a text. Дальше, номер 10, последний знак препинания, the last punctuation mark, is кавычки. Кавычки. So, кавычки. Кавычки, and I have скобки as well. So, did I miss something? What happened? Yeah. So, кавычки looks like this. In Russian, you will see something like that. Or sometimes you will see something like that in English, as in English. Кавычки. Кавычки, quotes. So we use them when we quotation marks. And of course, we use them when we quote someone. Someone. When we quote someone, names of the companies, names, we put them in кавычки, we put them in quotation marks, names of the companies, like newspapers, magazines, books, and so on. Quotation marks. And the last one is, I think I missed something, or I wrote the wrong number, because they have one more punctuation mark. Еще один знак препинания, and it is скобки. 11. Скобки, brackets. Скобки are brackets. Скобки. Okay, like this. They look like that. In English, we call them parentheses, because brackets are those that are, these are brackets in English. These are parentheses. In Russian, we call them скобки. So, скобки, when we want to show some additional thoughts, some additional thoughts or information. Скобки, we put them in these parentheses. Thoughts or information. That's all for this lesson. Все на сегодня. Увидимся с вами завтра утром. See you tomorrow in the morning. If you want to support my channel, become a member. Press on join near the subscribe button. This way you will support me, and I will continue doing lessons every day. Спасибо за внимание. Увидимся завтра утром в 8 часов at 8 a.m. Moscow time for my live lessons. Целую вас. Пока. Чмоки-чмоки. Mwah.